skeletal muscle is composed of a variety of tissues, including layers of connective tissue. On the outer part of the muscle organ is the fascia, and then the epimysium, which is a layer just directly below the fascia. Then you have the muscle organ itself. The perimysium is a connective tissue surrounding the fascicles. The endomysium is a connective tissue directly surrounding the muscle fiber cells themselves. And then there's the myofibrils and thick and thin filaments that compose the muscle fiber cells. In this diagram of the muscle organ, you see the bone and the tendon that attaches the muscle organ to the bone. The fascia is the connective tissue surrounding the outer part of the muscle. And then the epimysium is the layer right inside the fascia. The muscle organ contains fascicles, which I have these, the black circle is the whole structure is considered the fascicle. And these red dots are the myofibers that are inside the fascicle. The perimysium would be the black here and the black circling around the fascicle. This yellow is the axon of a neuron that follows the muscle fiber cell and is involved in the contraction of the muscle fiber cell. If you pull one of these fascicles out and lengthen it, then this is still the perimysium surrounding the fascicle. The endomysium is surrounding this individual muscle fiber cell. So this is one whole fascicle pulled out. These red circles indicate individual muscle fiber cells. The red here would be the capillaries. These are the red capillaries following along the fascicle. If you take the cross section, then this is the end of the capillaries, these red dots in between the endomysium layers. And the black, notice how the black dots are pushed to the edge of the muscle fiber cell. So that would be your nucleus. The nucleus of a skeletal muscle is on the periphery of the cell. If you take one of these muscle fibers cells and pull it and stretch it out, then this outer portion wouldn't be a connective tissue, it's actually the cell membrane, and that's called the sarcolemma, which is the muscle cell membrane. There's also a structure, an organelle called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and that's this yellow structure here, and that correlates to the endoplasmic reticulum in other types of cells. It's involved in transport. We'll go into more detail on that in another video. So pulling out the muscle fiber cell, you have a series of myofibrils. A series of myofibrils compose the muscle fiber cell. And if you pull a myofibril out, you end up and you see that there are filaments. The functional unit of the muscle is the muscle cell, the myofibril, and we'll go into detail about the working unit, the sarcomere. Again, this is the muscle cell. and this is a fibril pulled out of the muscle cell. This blue line that I have here looks like a Z, and we call that a Z line. The blue is the thin actin. These blue lines here, those are thin filaments, and they are actin proteins. These thick filaments, the red ones, are myosin, and they're in between the actin filaments. So you have the Z-line structure, you have the actin, and you have the myosin filaments. From Z-line to Z-line is called a sarcomere. The sarcomere is what causes the striations in the skeletal muscle cell when you view the longitudinal cross-section, the longitudinal section of the muscle cell. The striations are caused by two factors. First, the I bands, which are the thin actin filaments held together by the Z line. So this is a longitudinal section. The thin actin filaments are held together by the Z line. That's called the I bands. And it kind of looks like an I, in that with the line down the middle and then the light area, kind of looks like an I. So that's the I band. And only the actin filaments are in that I band. Okay? Then there's also the A band. The A band plays after hours. So that could help you think about A band as being dark. A band plays after hours. It's dark. It's the dark section of the sarcomere. And it goes from the overlapping section of the myosin and the actin to the next overlapping section of the myosin to the actin. So that dark area is the A band. Inside the A band is called, there's an H zone, and it's a little bit lighter. It's only where the myosin is located. So only myosin is in the H band, and in the middle there is a thickening. So I think of H, heavy, thickening. The M line is where the thickening occurs. This protein thickening here in the center of the myosin, along with these titin proteins, are what helps to hold the myosin in place. So that's your basic anatomy of the skeletal muscle. We'll go into the motor unit on the next section. For class, I want you to bring straws and saran wrap, and we'll work on a skeletal muscle activity together.